Here's a project. This is the heater valve for the 1961 Silver Cloud, and this doesn't work. So this is what it looks like to start with. Got the actuation motor here. The actual valve itself is here, and boy, this doesn't feel like it's going to move at all. So this is going to come apart, figure out what's wrong. The valve and the actuator are out of that holder, and just looking at this here, something looks melted there. That does not look good. Maybe it's just age, but yeah. And then the valve here, this actually does move, so maybe that's okay. We'll have to get inside there and see how bad it is. I've got the screws, these 3 screws out, but it still doesn't want to come apart, so I'm not sure if there's still another screw in there possibly holding this thing together. Well, here's the culprit. There is actually a 4th screw underneath this rubber thing that's kind of shot here. Almost looks like just like a rubber cover of some sort. Sure looks like it got pretty hot, this rubber motor cover, I guess is what it is. See right there, almost looks like it kind of got melted. I just rotated it by hand and it came off. But that's what's under the cover. You can see the brushes of the motor right there. To get this apart, you've got to get this rubber grommet. Actually, there's 3 of them out of here, and I kind of used a little bit of Vaseline here to try to work the thing out. And so I got that one out, and I got 2 more to get out yet. Now that all 3 grommets are out, it's not exactly falling apart, so there's still something that's keeping these 2 halves together. This is going to come apart in order to get the cover off. So I've scored with this little file here, alignment mark. So when it goes back together, we can get the shaft aligned with this arm properly. With the arm off, we can get the cover off quite nicely. And that's what we see inside. Some nice brass gears. And there's some electrical contacts in there too. I want to pull this top piece off, but it doesn't want to seem to come off. I'm not sure why that is. It could be because you can see there's little tabs here that are holding this wire. It almost looks like those need to get unbent, and then maybe that top piece will come off. So I believe that main shaft is jammed in there, and that is why I can't lift this piece off. And there's these little contacts in here that I can't pull on those because they'll bend. So taking this screw, and that screw out, and that maybe will allow me to pull all of that stuff off. So I'm starting to get things loosened up by getting this screw off here and these 2 screws. Things are loosening up a little bit. You can see getting close to being able to get this out of there. And so I got the big contact thing out, and now we just have this one single contact that we've got to get out of here to be able to separate this. And just by unlacing some of the wires there, we've got this piece out. And I think this is the problem here, is this guy is just frozen in there. As you can see, it's frozen. It does not want to turn at all here. Looks like rust got to it here. A little bit of croil here. Can kind of turn it just a little bit here, like that. So I'm kind of letting that soak. See if we can break that free without damaging this sort of Bakelite kind of plastic board. That's the bearing. See if I can loosen this up a little bit. These gears are seized up too. Boy, you can't even turn them. Nothing's turning in here, so it's no wonder nothing would move. Things are just seized up here. Got to get this freed up and working. So I got those two gears out, which then exposes both screws on this plate here, one here and one here. And those guys hold the motor, which you can see is now loose. But the problem is, see that wire going through there? This goes up and connects to this brush. So with this really old insulation, I'm not sure how we're going to feed that through there, but that's what's going to have to happen. And somehow we have to reconnect this then after we get this whole thing put back together. But that is the brush that then contacts the commutator right there on that side. And then this one just goes straight to ground, as you can see there. I was able to feed the wire through into this side to allow the motor to come off. And maybe we can work with that, because this little wire is spot welded on there, and I'd rather not have to try to figure out how to redo that. So I need to pull the other brush off here. And from alignment purposes, you can see the wire comes here to this side, so that's on the opposite side. With the motor disconnected, then you can pull the armature out of there, and there we go, just a little tiny thing. Here's where I'm stopping for tonight, trying to do all this work with that wire still in place. So hopefully we don't have to disconnect that. Just need to do some more cleanup work, and then clean the commutator on this little guy. That looks pretty bad. And then start putting it back together. Here's the armature all cleaned up. Bearings are cleaned and the commutator's cleaned up, ready to go back in. Here's the motor back together with a little bit of oil in there, and commutator's all cleaned up. I've got the motor back together, but nothing else, and I've got 12 volts here, and I'm just gonna plug this in. Look at that. You see it running? There we go. Now the gears are reassembled here, and I'm just gonna give it power. You can see it definitely runs fairly smooth. Just freewheeling along there. There's no load at all, which I think is why it sounds just a little bit like you hear some noises in there, but I didn't see any issues. Everything is well lubricated. Now I've got the contact set in here. Pretty clever little system here. So whichever wire gets powered, it goes to whatever angle that is set to. This is the felt lubricator, so I've got 3-in-1 oil saturated in there, and then I also put a little bit of dielectric grease right in here. You can kind of see a little bit right there on this wiper, and then these wipers, just to make sure they were lubricated as they as that main wheel turns. So at this point, it's time to put this back together like that, and then these grommets get forced into these holes, and that's really kind of what holds this together until you actually mount it, which also squeezes this together. I put the grommets back on, so the case is now connected to the back side, and then I put this guy on here, and so we can test, see how this works. There we go. Once you get these forced into the holes there, it's kind of tricky to just put push all that rubber through, but it actually does get through. You just have to be patient. But then these eyelets, there's 6 of them, they'll go back in like that, and they just stay in there until it gets bolted into the assembly like this. So I'm trying to get this valve apart. I'm thinking that maybe we can rotate this by kind of tapping on it. I'm not sure if that's really going to work or not. Let's see here if this will doesn't really look like it's moving yet. After some tapping, I've rotated this a little bit. So after tapping this around a little bit, we will free this guy up here, the screwdriver, to help get that separated. And there we go. So it does look like one of the ears broke here and here, but otherwise looks like it might be salvageable here. So this is the input. This is where that servo connects, and so you can see what it's doing is it's pulling that down and pushing it up as we move this. But the mechanism doesn't seem to work too well in there. Upon looking at the rubber diaphragm and this mechanism a little more closely, it looks like this really is not going to be repairable, so we ended up ordering a brand new valve. This rubber cover just came in from Albers, so remember the other one was like real super crusty, so this is nice and pliable, and this is supposed to go right on here like that. There we go. So the cover is back in place, and then that mounts back in the bracket like that. The bracket kind of holds that rubber cover over the motor. And with the screws all tightened down, that's what it looks like. Good as new. And here's the new valve. It just came, also from Albers, and here's part of the old valve. So you can see it looks so much better. We do need to transfer this piece over to here. Looks like I'm going to have to use the tapping the razor blade technique here to try to get these separated here. But I think there's more to it than this. I think there's a brass, can't really see it very well, brass tube that extends beyond this that goes on in here. So a little challenge to get this apart. After slicing around there, you can just barely start to turn this a little bit here. See, like that. Ah, there we go. So that is what it looks like. And here's the new one. So luckily they look the same, so we should have no problem getting this fitted back in here. It looks like they used a bunch of sealant there. So here this is coming off, and it looks like they just used a bunch of sealant in there to seal this thing up. And there's a little bit on the other side too. This is what that adapter looks like. So we'll get this all cleaned up and put back together. Did a quick trial fit here to make sure it fits before I get the sealant out. And these are threaded here, so you can just screw these in, and it all looks like it's going to fit together nicely with a little bit of sealant in there. Okay, I'm going to use some of this red RTB gasket maker. Should be just fine for this relatively low pressure sealing. Okay, here's a bunch of it on there, and now we're going to put this metal spacer in place, and then we'll put a little bit more on there. So here's the piece with the sealant, and that's going to go in here. just like that. And we'll get the bolts in there, tighten that up. Should be good to go. All right, here we go. Just get things tightened up here. All right, you see where we squeezed a little bit of that out? All hooked up. I want to see if this is adjusted right. So we're going to try to send this to a position. Okay, that's... That does not look like it's really working. It's kind of jamming up here. So you can see it's kind of straining a little bit. This is like all the way closed. And then when it goes to open, look how it just doesn't seem real super satisfactory. Adjusted this a little bit so it doesn't go all the way closed, and put a little bit of grease in there. And what it looks like now is 4 is no heat, so that's all the way closed. And then 3 is a little bit of heat. 2 is a little bit more heat. It goes out to here. And then 1 is all the way open. So that's full heat. So there's full heat. Here's part heat, a little bit of heat, no heat. The heater valve repair is complete and it is ready to be reinstalled in the 1961 Silver Cloud.